Your hair looks pretty now.
Thank you.
She's got pretty hair.
Okay, I'm filming you guys.
You are?
I'm filming you guys.
Goodness, I have a mouth.
Well, it's not close up. I want to hear a story from you when you were children.
Okay. Margaret, do you remember? We used to go up in on the day they had that dipping day for the cows. We'd go sit up in the in the loft of the barn and watch all the cows be in the.
Oh yeah, yeah. You mean that old place we lived?
Well, no, the place in Stevens.
Oh, in Stevens. I was thinking of another place.
No.
Oh yeah, I
Stevens,
remember
the
that.
cows would be filled with. I mean, the alley would be filled with cows that
Yeah,
would go
they were
into-
dipping them in
they
that
were
dipping
dipping
that
them,
down
right.
there. And we'd sit out there and watch them
Watch 'em,
sometime
yeah.
on the fence, you
I
know.
know.
Climb the fence and sit up there and watch the cows.
Yeah.
They took them
But
down there to dip
this
them
was
for.
in the barn.
Let me see a smile. Big smile. Didn't get you right. Just a minute. Okay, big smile. 1, 2, 3. Big smile. Whoa. Very good.
Okay.
Okay, back to your childhood.
Jeremy, a few minutes ago they called.
Okay, what was the last story about?
About the barns and the cows.
Okay.
What's
And
another
also
memory?
That same alley, you know, the alley was cut in two there at our barn, and right behind our at the beginning of our garage, the alley was a gate that
Yeah.
cut that off,
Uh-huh.
and then the beyond the garage there, we used to have, I don't know what they were used for or what, but we used to have
I got my foot nearly cut off, you remember? Mama
I-
told us not to
What
ride
happened?
on the back of Uncle Nat's car.
Yeah.
We got on there anyway.
Restart all this, tell her about it.
What happened with your foot?
Well, Uncle Nat, she said he wasn't a safe driver. But we got on the back of it was just a two-seated thing and it had a big trunk. And we got behind where the tire stays, and I don't know where Marie, she was sitting where she could jump off, but I wasn't. And Mama said, don't ever get on that back in the car with Nat. That was her brother, Uncle Nat. And we got on it anyway, and we drove down to the filling station with him, and he was getting gas. When he started to start over, come home.
And leave to go home.
Yeah, and I was behind the thing. I couldn't get out, but Marie jumped.
Well, tell her what he did.
What?
Instead of going forward, he put it in
Oh,
reverse.
that's right.
And back fast and he could against some pole or light thing, and
I don't know how you
that
jumped out.
thing. He knocked that wheel that was at the back of the thing into Mary Margaret's foot, and she couldn't get it out. And it
I don't
almost
know
he
how.
could
How
have
we
cut
got
her foot
out.
off.
Huh?
I said he could have cut your
Did
foot
your
off.
mama get involved?
Did who?
Did your mama get involved?
Sure, she got involved because he had to take her to the doctor, and
What did Nat say?
I don't think he ever said anything, did he?
I don't think
He
so.
was afraid, I guess.
But Mama told us never to get on the back end of that car and ride with him.
Did she get mad with you?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
blew us out.
But you know, she came up there and I got my foot
Yeah.
hung and got cut real bad, and she came up to there when they took me to the doctor's office because it was bleeding real bad. She came up there and you remember what she said?
I told
I don't feel a bit sorry for you because I told you not to do that. And then she was loving both of us.
The whole time she was ruining.
Yeah, but she told us she wouldn't feel sorry for us because of that. And so, but anyway, we used to try to go to the filling station with Uncle Nat.
I know.
Crazy as
You
I
didn't do that anymore, did you?
No.
But you know, I can also remember there at Stevens, you know, Papa was just the piece. if they had a wreck on the train, sometime we had train wrecks, and they'd come one time, they came at 2 o'clock in the morning to get him, because with the Just the Peace, you had to get them to do something, law something. And Polly was at home then, and Billy was there, you and me, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we got scared, and even Polly, we were all scared. We thought we could hear something,
Yeah.
you know, and but it was just nothing. You thinking, because Papa at 2 o'clock had to go out, you know, and everything.
Not
Mom
the
was already
train. You
dead.
said trains, you mean cars.
Huh?
And cars had wrecks.
The railroad, the train,
Well, what did Papa have, didn't have anything to do
because he's a Just the Peace, and it was an accident.
of a
and-
car and a train?
Wasn't the car, the train had a wreck off the tracks,
Oh,
and it had some hobos on there, and I think some of them, one or two got killed,
yeah.
and that's the reason Papa was the Just the Peace,
Oh,
so he had to come out there. And it was 2 o'clock in the morning. Billy was at home, Polly was there, and you and I.
yeah.
And we all got scared, I think. We kept thinking, you know, we could hear something.
Yeah.
But you know, you've been up there, there was a pond behind there, and we were always the last, you know, the last houses there.
Yeah.
And we'd kind of get scared at times. Don't you remember we did?
Yeah, I know. And we used to go sit out in front of underneath this, there was a street light out in front of our house. And we used to go sit out in front of it when you and I were there alone.
Yeah, because one night Papa didn't come home,
Yeah.
you know, and we sat out on underneath that street light in front of our house, and I don't know how long we sat there, but I was always, you know, we were the last houses, and
I know.
we'd always hear somebody coming in from the back where that pond was and
Yeah.
everything. But Papa, Mama was, what, were you 12 when Mama died?
Mm-hmm.
12 years old. And I think I had just turned 14.
Mm-hmm.
I had just turned 14. But, you know, I guess Polly was home then, though.
Yeah.
So she helped, you
And
know.
Polly
helped us.
stayed how long before she got married?
Polly stayed with us. She
Oh.
was going with Ed Smeltzer
Right.
then.
And he died.
How much
Just a little
longer?
while before they were supposed to get married too, I think.
Over there.
And well, they were supposed to get married in
I
just a
know.
little while, and he died of ruptured appendix.
Yeah.
And the doctor
That's
said,
sad.
I never heard of a guy, a grown man, screaming, hollering with a
Like
stomach
that.
ache.
Yeah.
And it was a ruptured appendix, and he killed him.
No, damn, he was a bad, bad doctor.
You had a lot of bad doctors back then.
I know.
They didn't know anything.
No.
And Polly sort of took care of Mr. and Miss Smeltzer
I
to
know.
be, not money-wise, but to see if they were all right. And they moved.
And she
got them
always
to move
gave
in
them
Steve.
gifts at Christmas, you know, and
Yeah.
nobody else was that. But
Aw.
And she got them to move into Stevens too.
right, and then they got oil money.
Oh yeah, they got rich on oil money
Right.
out there. That would have been Polly's if Ed had lived,
I know.
because they were going to get married. It was in his
But
name.
they gave Mrs. Smeltzer was really loved Polly, and the other old man, because he was, you know, his daddy was real. He was so. I hate to use a term, but it was true. He was ignorant, you know, of what's going on around him. He was just not aware of the money,
Yeah.
what he could do and everything. But anyway, Miss Smeltzer gave $30,000 to Polly because she loved her, and Polly was their contact with reality.
I know.
And they went to, moved into our house, you know, everybody moved out.
Yeah, they did.
And she wouldn't cook on the gas stove because she was afraid to.
How old were you when they moved in?
Well, I was
12?
gone, Robbie.
Oh, you were
I
gone.
was already married.
Okay, so this is sometime later.
Yes, after
What?
After
Was your papa still living?
Papa, and, well, no, it was after he died, too.
And Polly stayed on in the house with the Smeltzers?
No. Polly
She
was
moved to
married,
Camden,
too.
I think.
Okay.
Didn't she? Didn't she move to Camden? Polly.
Polly, yeah. Well, that was after,
Did you tell her
everybody
what
had
the
died,
Smelter
and-
said about cooking on the gas stove?
I said.
You've heard that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, you tell it.
Yeah. Polly came back. We went up. Polly moved them up there in our house.
Because they lived out on the
Way
edge
out
of town.
The
with no-
boondocks nowhere. And they didn't drive.
That's right.
And so Polly wanted them to move up there where they could buy groceries and things. And Polly put them up there, and we had a gas cook stove, you know, to cook on.
Yeah.
And Polly went to Camden to visit Ed and Marie one time. She came back, and they were cooking on the outside. They had a little wood pile of wood, and they were cooking their meals. And Polly said, "Miss Smelser, my God, you're not supposed to be cooking that. Use the gas cook stove." I was afeard of it. That's the word she used for
Yeah.
it. I was
Aw.
afeard of it.
Aw.
Polly told
Showed her how.
Showed her how to cook on it.
I bet you never did.
I bet you
And she
did.
probably still cooked out there and built her a little fire in the yard. But
But when they got some money from the
all of
they
them
bought
had money.
another little house on the other side of town, and
Yeah,
not the other side of the oil. It was on the same side as the. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
railroad not killed it. It cut the town in two.
Right.
It was still on the right side of the town. Did I tell you that Caroline and them, well, not them, because Caroline, they've sold it to a black family, and they burned it up.
And it burned up.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet you told me
Yeah.
that.
But,
A nice home.
Caroline told me that the last time she was down there, somebody told her that he was gonna build it back.
Was what?
That he was gonna build it back like it
Oh, he was gonna build
Yeah.
it back.
Was it electrical?
No, I think they were making meth. They were,
Meth?
Yeah.
Well, you think they'd have enough evidence there to arrest them?
Well, I don't know, they didn't.
Well, they must not have been making
House
meth
burned up,
then, because there's a lot of evidence there.
But anyway, Carolyn said she never would like them because they burned her house up.
I know. But Marie and Caroline were just like this.
I know.
And Caroline was one grade ahead of you, wasn't she?
Yes.
But they were always such good friends. And Marie used to go to the picture show with her on Sunday.
Yeah, but we'll see the.
Caroline had money, right?
Caroline, yeah, Caroline's daddy was superintendent of schools, and Catherine worked for the Ohio Oil Company, a real good job. So both of them were loaded, not loaded with money, but they had any amount of money they wanted to do anything, and,
But Marie, how'd you ever get enough money to go?
well, Polly.
Polly gave you enough to go to
She
the
gave
show.
me 50 cents.
To go to the show with them.
Right. When they went to the show, Caroline had the car, and we would go to Magnolia and go
Yeah.
to the show over there, and it cost. Anyway, out of 50 cents, you could go to the show and get a hamburger and a Coke
I know.
Wow.
for
Wasn't that
50
something?
cents.
Isn't that great?
Because I
Yeah.
guess the show cost,
25? Yeah.
and the Coke and hamburger was a quarter.
I know. I remember that. You know, they give us some money when we went on scuba trips.
Yeah,
I think they gave us $1.
you're right.
And I'd come home with $1 and we'd have hers all spent up.
I'd owe it 10 cents.
But anyway, I remember that, just things like that. And I'll remember something about Mama. The tramps, we call them tramps, on the railroad.
Hobos.
Would ride the
Rails.
rails with the boxcars and things, and they found out Mama would feed all of them. Your mama, every time they'd come to the back, they never went to the front door.
Well, Mama said they marked the house with an X.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what
they
people
had
said,
a mark, we think.
that they would know where it is.
Yeah.
And
They'd come to the back door, and it didn't make any difference what Mama had. It was just a piece of cornbread and peas or something.
or with a sweet potato, you know, baked and cornbread and.
She
did.
always made extra, didn't she?
Well, no, that was just left over from a normal meal, I guess.
Okay.
And they would sit on the steps out there. You know, we had steps that went up pretty high, and they'd sit on the steps. And Mama they didn't come in the house.
No.
They ate
But
out there, and she always
There
fixed.
was one black man that worked for Mama, named John, and she always fixed him a meal at the kitchen table there.
Yeah,
Remember that over there near the back wall, and that's
Yeah.
where he would sit and eat his meal. And
Did Uncle Nat die before your mama?
no,
Who took care of him?
he had to move into Camden, in a boarding house in Camden, and the woman took care of him and got whatever money he had left and everything.
Huh. I
You
wondered
talking
what had
about when
happened to
Russell
him.
went to school.
What?
You talking about when Russell went to school in Camden?
No, I'm talking about when Uncle Nat.
Oh,
She
yeah.
wanted to know if Mama died before Uncle Nat,
Oh,
and I said
yeah.
yes, and that's why he had to move to Camden. There was nobody there to take care of
Well,
him.
your daddy was there, but he couldn't take care of him.
No. But they put, Uncle Nat was in a boarding house, a woman who was very loving, I guess, because he had some money, of course, I don't know how much, but she got everything he had.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had some money. Marie, I think he owned some land down there too.
Did he?
Down there at Liberty. You know,
Oh,
down by
okay.
Liberty, down there.
But she didn't marry him. He willed it to her?
Well, she didn't marry him.
Oh, no, she
No,
didn't
he
marry
just-
him.
I don't even know where did he move to Camden?
Yes,
After Mama
after Mama
died.
died, he had to move up there in a boarding house, and this woman took care of him.
Yeah, that's right.
How many years after your mom died did your dad die?
7.
7? And he lived in the house
Mm-hmm.
the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Let's drive out at the cemetery and see if the flowers or anything are been
Okay.
blown away. Do
Okay.
y'all mind taking
No,
that?
we'll take some pictures.